From era to era to era, the fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years. Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
From era to era to era, the fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years. Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
From era to era to era, the fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years. Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
Once again, everyone, Kayla Reyes still with Richie Cordero and
Good afternoon and welcome to all the volleyball fans watching. This is Quick Set, brought to you by Kick, powered by Smart 5G. I am Danny Nakpil, your courtside reporter, still joined by Kayla Reyes and Richie Cordero. At live pa rin tayo dito ngayon sa Rizal Memorial Coliseum. We're on to our second classification game, and of course, mamaya, our third and final match for today is a game one of our much anticipated final series. Pero bago yan, balikan natin kung anong results ng ating laro kanina. College of St. Benil Lady Blazers clinch the 7th spot against San Beda University in a straight sets win. And para naman sa ating pakalawang laro, this is the Battle of Katipunan at paglalabanan nga nila ang 5th spot. This is between the UP Fighting Maroons and the Ateneo Blue Eagles. And for our Game 1 for the finals, we have the defending champions NU Lady Bulldogs versus the contenders, the UST Golden Tigresses. Marami talagang natutunan ng mga players in this tournament about themselves and about their teams. Ngayon naman, alamin natin kung ano ang quick tips sa ating featured player na ito. Let's watch this video.
May Hora. I'm opposite from the Ateneo de Manila University. And this is in or out. Morning games in, afternoon games out. Sunny day in, rainy day out. Water in, energy drink out. Playing with makeup on out, playing without makeup on in. Watch a movie in, watch a series out. Pagalitan ni coach in, pagalitan ni team captain out. Puto in, pancake out. I'm Jenna Mayhora and that was in or out. Thank you.
That is Jenna Hora from the Ateneo Blue Eagles, and we will see more of the Ateneo team later on this second game. Of course, don't miss out on the chance to go here and witness the action live. But if you are at home, you can also watch the 2025 Shakey Super League Preseason Unity Cup on Puso Pilipinas and our Shakey Super League Facebook page. The matches will also be broadcast on Smart Sports Facebook page. Meanwhile, you can catch our TV broadcast on Solar Sports, on DDT Channel 21, Cable Link Channel 58, and Sky Cable Channel 70. Sino nga ba ang mag-uuwi ng panalo sa Katipunan? We will find that in a while. But you know, the SSL preseason is coming to a close soon. Pero syempre, we will end this with the bang. So let us watch this video for the new theme song of the Shakey Super League.
Alive, dreams in our hands, the future will rise. Every surf, every spike, hear the crowd ignite. Together we shine, together we fight. Stronger, faster, higher we go. Feel the passion, let it show. With every jump, the sky we claim. Next gen heroes, remember the name. Rise, ignite, shine brighter than the lights. Jump, unite, every heart is taking flight. Shakey Super League, dream, big believe. Shakey Super League, we will achieve. Power in the play, better every day. Breaking all the limits down, next gen we crown. Energy surge and the moment is ours. Chasing the glory, we're reaching the stars. One team, one voice, love a great song. Shakey Super League, we all belong. Stronger, faster, higher we go. Feel the passion, let it show. With every step we chase the flame. Next gen legends, we stake our claim. Third rise, ignite, shine brighter than the lights. Jump, unite, every heart is taking flight. Shakey Super League, dream, big believe. Shakey Super League, we will achieve. Power in the play, better every day. Breaking all the limits down, next gen we crown. We crown. Clap to the beat, feel the roar. Stronger together we'll soar. Push through the pain, rise from the fall. Super League spirit will give it all. Rise, ignite, shine brighter than the light. Jump, unite, every heart is taking flight. Shakey Super League, dream, big believe. Shakey Super League, we will achieve. Power in the play, better every day. Breaking all the limits down, next gen we crown. We crown. We crown.
It's a Battle of Katipunan here for our second match, wherein both squads will battle it out for fifth place. Playmaker Jazz Mangilimutan will lead her team as they take on Casey Cortez and the rest of the Ateneo Blue Eagles in this classification matchup. Again, the Battle of Katipunan still here at the Rizal Memorial Coliseum. Battle for fifth. The UP Fighting Maroons take on the Ateneo de Manila University Blue Eagles. Good afternoon, everyone. Still here, Kayla Reyes with my partner Richie Cordero and Danny Nakpil as our courtside reporter. Richie, it's another classification matchup.
So, mastery of skill and talent is what we are looking for in today's match, especially with two of our UAAP teams ready to battle it out for a higher standing to end the run here in the Shakey Super League Preseason Unity Cup.
Definitely both squads would want to finish their campaign on a high note. Let's now take a look at the final team rankings as of this moment. Earlier, we saw our first match, CSB getting that 7th place. Meanwhile, San Beda finishing at 8th place. And this second match will determine the 5th and 6th place. Moving to our battle for bronze, we have FU versus Adamson, which will happen or take place on November 15. Meanwhile, later, our much-awaited championship match.
Now, it was a repeat of the championship match 2 seasons ago, 2023, of the Shakey Super League, where we had NU going against USD, and of course, NU defending their crown as our defending champions.
NU looking for their four-peat here in the Shakey Super League. But before that, let's take a look at UP's last game performance versus San Beda University, wherein they won in 3 straight sets.
And 3 straight sets, but they were very much close as the Fighting Maroons took advantage of their height and of course their arm reach to grab the most points, especially coming from their blocks. Now, total points, we had 76 for UP because the first set was actually extended while bagging all of their other sets, 25 to 23, 25 to 22. We had 44 spikes for UP, while San Beda only had 40. And of course, the blocks, 9 points coming from that for UP and 4 for San Beda. While San Beda also took advantage of the 5 service aces that they had during their previous game, but service aces for UP, wala naman. So maybe that's something that they may need to adjust to and target more of, especially coming into this match going against the Ateneo Blue Eagles.
Well, UP won that match in 3 straight sets, although San Beda obviously here did a really great job keeping at par that first set, even heading to extended play. And a key player here for the UP Fighting Maroons has been Bien Bansil, one of the younger players on this roster, but definitely stepping up here for her squad.
You know, Bansil has been a key player for the UP Fighting Maroons, and that she really performs with confidence with 9 big points, 4 coming from attacks and 5 coming from blocks. Tournament total, she had 61 points and 25 of those points were actually coming from blocks.
Well, aside from Bien Bansil, other UP players also made an impact for the Fighting Maroons, such as Cassie Dongalio, Yesha Noceja, and our MVP of the match in their last game versus Ateneo. That was San Beda University, that's Nina Itang, but Bien Bansil has just been magnificent here for the UP Fighting Maroons. Let's now take a look at their opponents on the other side of the court. That's the Ateneo Blue Eagles, and their last match also coming from a win versus the College of St. Benil Lady Blazers.
Now, Ateneo really spiked and served their way out of their previous match with a victory. Although it was ended in 4 sets, Ateneo had 59 points coming from spikes, while CSB only had 35. So they had more advantage and really activating different spikers and different players that shined throughout that game. Pantay naman sila sa blocks. In that previous game, they had 7 block points, while Ateneo really just showing mastery in their service aces, where they had 10 points, free points to their name, while CSB only had 3.
Well, our PusoP.com player in focus is none other than Zay Pasha. Our player in focus is presented by PusoP.com. Join now for free.
Now, Pasha is a name we often hear as a player to guard from the Ateneo Blue Eagles. She had 14 points against CSB in their previous game
12 of those points coming from attacks, 1 block and 1 service ace. So you really see her being activated, not in just one department of attacking, but she also puts in her talent, especially when it comes to blocking and contributing points in different departments like service aces.
Well, Ateneo had a balanced effort in their big victory over CSB in their classification match, with several players stepping up. And another player aside from Zay Pasha actually is rookie Ana Hermosura, coming from Bacolod Taitung, now playing in the collegiate ranks.
She had 15 points against their match against CSB, 13 of those points coming from attacks and 2 service aces. So tournament total is 71 points. So you really see that different players coming from both of our teams are really stepping up to shine for their respective teams.
Well, Richie, we spoke about these key spikers, key players here for both squads, the scoring machines actually for both UP and Ateneo. But let's now give credit where credit is due and talk about the setters or the playmakers here coming from both teams. We have very talented setters. First, for the side of UP, we have Kizzy Madriaga with 8 excellent sets, as well as Julia De Leon as their third string setter, who also contributed 10 excellent sets.
You know, the beauty of the all-to-play rule is that all setters are also given a chance to be able to activate her spikers and really get a feel of how it is inside the court to be the playmaker. Now we have Julia De Leon also, who had 10 excellent sets, and Kat Cortez against CSB, who had 11 excellent sets in her previous match.
Well, in their last match, Jazz Mangilimutan unfortunately fell injured and sat that game out, and Kizzy Madriaga had to step in as a second setter. Pero this match, si Kizzy Madriaga naman yung hindi maglalaro, and Jazz Mangilimutan together with Julia De Leon will spearhead the offense on the side of the UP Fighting Maroons. On the other side for Ateneo, Tax Fujimoto not in a playing uniform today, so we'll be seeing Casey Cortez and maybe the other rookies from Ateneo who will definitely step up. So don't go away, game will be starting in just a few moments. Keep it here on 2025 Shakey Super League Preseason Unity Cup.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Good eyesight makes perfect moments. For expert eye care, state-of-the-art facilities, affordable eyewear. Go to EO. EO Executive Optical. Love your eyes.
Only projects, plans, play, games! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
Meet our striker, the B30E Dune. Sleek, smooth, and impossible to ignore. All eyes are on its hybrid power as it conquers the city and beyond. Rugged, smart, powerful. Dare to drive big with bike.
Reaching the stars, one team, one voice, love a great song. Shakey Super League, we all belong. Stronger, faster, higher we go. Feel the passion, let it show. With every step we chase.
Welcome to the Rizal Memorial Coliseum for the continuation of the Shakey Super League Preseason Unity Cup. And it's the classification match between the University of the Philippines and the Ateneo de Manila University. Let us now meet the players from both teams. First, for the Ateneo de Manila University Blue Eagles. Beginning with the team captain number 6, Zay Pasha. First libero, number 22, Stephanie De Chavez. Make way for the teammates, number 1, Jenna Hora. Number 3, Chusel and Jigha. Number 4, Dawn Silos. Number 5, Casey Cortez. Number 13, Rob Cilia. Number 14, Anna Hermosura. Number 15, Michaela Gulapa. Number 16, Donna May De Leon. Number 23, Francine Baltazar. Number 24, Isa Nisperos. And number 30, Alana Tanchi. And now please welcome the University of the Philippines Fighting Maroons. Beginning with a team captain and first libero, number 10, Ira Haboneta. Make way for her teammates, number 1, Jazz Mangilimutan. Number 4, Yesha Noseha. Number 5, Jen Umayam. Number 6, Kian Olango. Number 9, Ninya Itang. Number 11, Bling Baklay. Number 13, Fina Ali. Number 14, Bien Bansil. Number 15, Jelay Gahero. Number 17, Julia De Leon. Number 19, Isa Gamboa. Number 24, Cassie Dongalio. And their second libero, number 2, Gisha Capistrano. Presenting our game officials for match number 48. First referee, Justin Cruz. Our second referee, Pretzel De Lara. Let us now meet the starting lineups for both teams. First, for the University of the Philippines Fighting Maroons. Setter number 1, Jazz Mangilimutan. Outside hitter number 4, Yesha Noseha. Middle blocker number 5, Jen Umaya. Outside hitter number 6, Kian Olango. Opposite hitter number 9, Ninya Ita. Middle blocker number 14, Bien Bansil. And their starting libero and team captain number 10, Ira Haboneta. The head coach of the UP Fighting Maroons is Fabio Menta. And now the starting lineup for the Ateneo de Manila University Blue Eagles. Beginning with the team captain, outside hitter number 6, Zay Pasha. Setter number 5, Casey Cortez. Middle blocker number 13, Rob Cilia. Outside hitter number 14, Anna Hermosura. Middle blocker number 16, Donna May De Leon. Opposite hitter number 24, Isa Nesperos. And their starting libero is number 22, Stephanie De Chavez. The head coach of the Ateneo Blue Eagles is Sergio Veloso.
Let's meet our starters here for the Battle of Katipunan. Firstly, for the UP Fighting Maroons, we have Jazz Mangilimutan, Bien Bansil, Jenna Umayam, Kian Ulango, Yesha Noseha, Ninya Itang, Ira Haboneta. For the other side, for the Blue Eagles, we have Casey Cortez, Rob Cilia, Donna De Leon, Zay Pasha, Hermosura, Nisperos, and Steph De Chavez for their starting libero. It's the Battle of Katipunan here. battling it out for that 5th and 6th position. This set is brought to you by Shakey's. From era to era to era, the fun keeps rolling. 50 years of fun, family, and pizza at Shakey's. Free ball here for UP. Manglimutan chooses Bansil. That was Ulango rather. And UP opens up set number 1 with a point.
Olango with her first point of today's match, choosing a longer shot from the open side of the court.
Jenna Umayam. Good serve. No coverage there on the side of Ateneo.
Good presence of mind here for Olango to block that attack coming from the Blue Eagles. Let's see that once again. Quick activation to the middle attacker for the Blue Eagles, but just great anticipation coming from the UP Fighting Maroons.
Cortez to De Leon. Good pick up there by UP.
1-2 play for Cortez. Early in today's match, actually, just taking advantage of that over-reception.
This full play is brought to you by R&B Milk Tea. Order now. Two serving one here in favor of UP. Good blocking by Ateneo this time. Ulango. 4 touches.
Will be called on the side of the UP Fighting Maroons. That point will be awarded to the Blue Eagles.
Coach Serio also saw that and called it. Nagtinginan na lang yung receivers there sa side ng UP. Service ace here for Cortez. This serve of the game is brought to you by Shakey's. From era to era to era, the fun keeps rolling. 50 years of fun, family, and pizza at Shakey's.
Now, services was actually one of the strong points of Ateneo in their previous games, so it's important to see it here in today's match as UP naman ang sasagot. Olango with a point, just using the hands of the blockers to vary her attacks and drop that ball.
Olango with the push there, getting a check ball. Jazz Manglimutan coming back from an injury. It's great to see her back, getting some playing time. And now Kizzy Madriaga sits this match out. That point this time coming from Ateneo. Pero Jose Pasha. Manglimutan to Ulango. And Bien Bansil, just aggressive there at the helm of the net, putting that one away.
Again, giving credit to the girls in white for today's match. Really good net presence and anticipation when it comes to the free balls and over receptions coming from the Blue Eagles.
Faulty receive here for Ateneo. Miscue. On the floor defense, Isan Esperos gets a point though.
And Esperos just looking at the defensive line of UP and seeing that no one was actually in the longer side of the court. That's why she used the blocker's hands to make that land in zone 1.
Noceja from the left wing. Esperos again. Back-to-back points here for Isan Esperos.
2 points for Isan Esperos. Nababantayan siya ng blockers, but she puts enough power to just get that through.
It's a good start here.
UP may need to close their hands more when it comes to blocking, especially when you're trying to do a double block.
Yes, good start so far for Ateneo.
Free ball upcoming.
Manglimutan to Noceja. That goes wide. No touches there.
Seha will make that ball sail out. Miscalculated actually sa paghawak na ng bola. So the contact was unfortunately not what she hoped for.
Donna De Leon with the serve. Itang from the opposite gets a check ball.
You see Itang actually looking at the ball first and then checking her blockers in front of her, seeing that she had two blockers already guarding her. She just used power to get that ball to the hands of the blockers and make it sail out on their side of the court.
Actually, Itang playing opposite today. Bienban Sil in the middle as well as Umayam. No touch there for Ateneo. This time they commit a attack error rather.
The good energy and composure we're seeing from both of our squads today.
Cortez sets up Hermosura as she gets that check ball.
Hermosura, not the tallest of attackers, but when she approaches for a ball, you see the effort she gives in elevating herself to really target the spots that she wants to target.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Good eyesight makes perfect moments. For expert eye care, state-of-the-art facilities, affordable eyewear. Go to EO. EO Executive Optical. Love your eyes.
Only projects, plans, play, games! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
This is still the 2025 Shakey Super League Preseason Unity Cup. The Ateneo squad will be missing Tax Fujimoto, Fiona Arroyo, and Gian Chuatico in today's game because of important classes they had to attend. But according to Coach Sergio, he prepared the girls for this, especially in their training this week, specifically adjusting the team rotation as needed. He said he wants the Blue Eagles to continue being attentive and focused on responding well to the opponent's ball movement, which they showed in their win against CSB. His young players are definitely stepping up with the likes of Ana Hermosura and Donna May De Leon, and we will see more of that today. Kayla and Richie.
So far, a good start here for the Ateneo Blue Eagles despite the absence of Tax Fujimoto, their libero Arroyo.
You know, it's also the perfect opportunity for the girls in blue to really step up to perform without one of their, of course, seniors that usually lead them inside the court. So now Cortez is manning as the playmaker, and she is confident in activating her Mesora for another point. That's 2 points already as early as the first set.
That play was brought to you by Kick, powered by Smart. Our way, our rules. Download the app now.
You have to give credit to that set also. It came all the way from the opposite side of the net.
Hermosura, such a spectacular player. Although a service error committed by Nisperos.
Bitin lang ng unti. Hindi pa pumasok. As Itang will now serve on deck for the UP Fighting Maroons. Faulty first ball for Ateneo.
Hermosura gives up a free ball. Mangalimutan to Noceja. Tough set as well. Pasha from the pipe. Noceja unable to adjust.
Unfortunate error there for UP, giving 3 points to Ateneo. Hermosura now on deck to serve for the Blue Eagles.
Ateneo with the lead here, 11-7. Actually, this is the second time that Ateneo and UP are going up against each other, but In that second round, we saw them go head-to-head in Pool E, wherein UP defeated Ateneo in 3 straight sets. But a timeout called by UP. Let's listen in.
Depends on you right now, okay? So we're playing 2 slow on 4. A lot of sets are far away, and you play transitions with the ball to the net. So more middles right now, faster, okay? Keep the mind on the game. Don't look around. You know that you have to play faster. That's it. All right? Let's go.
Let's go! Slow on pass muna! Simplihan lang natin. Tara, laban!
That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
Now, as the playmaker and the most vocal person inside the court, mga limutan just received specific instruction coming from Coach Fabio to really have intention in activating the middle spikers, especially producing those faster tempo played.
Mga limutan sets up Umayam.
Exactly what Coach Fabio was saying. They were a bit slow when it comes to activating their spikers, choosing higher sets, but this time mga limutan does effectively adjust quickly in that previous timeout of Coach Fabio.
Quick adjustment and conversion coming from Jazz mga limutan right after those words from Coach Fabio Menta. Bump set here, Pasha. Mga limutan to Itang.
Good intention there coming from Ateneo, but that point will be awarded to the UP Fighting Maroons. Let's take a look at that set one more time. A little lower also when it comes to setting up their pipeline attackers, and really just showing that with great instruction coming from Coach Fabio, it's really the determination to produce that kind of instruction inside the court.
Coach Fabio looking for those lower sets, faster plays, just to, well, confuse the blockers of Ateneo, of course.
A good adjustment for UP so far, and consistent at that. Another point from an attack.
This time, Kian Olango will score a point. This spike is brought to you by Potato Corner, world's best flavored fries. Order now.
That is already her 3rd point of today's set.
When you look ahead, you don't have no time to control the ball. Okay, follow the ball. Stay in position, be the position. Take position, follow the ball. Okay, hey, rotation. Okay, it's the same the other side. What do you do? Stay in your position. When you get your position, stay and follow the ball. Okay? Good job, good job.
One back!
Small shot. You have a home player in the...
That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
You know, I like how Coach Sergio remained calm in reminding his girls to really just take into position and take responsibility, especially when you are receiving that kinds of balls. A while ago, Coach Fabio was looking for faster plays, and now Ateneo is looking to adjust to the adjustment that UP actually made.
Ateneo still with the lead though. 2-point lead. Kian Olango.
Good adjustment
what an
for
adjustment, yes. Pasha with a powerful kill down the line.
And a happy celebration for Pasha on the side of the Blue Eagles to really just break that momentum that UP was making. No blockers in front of her, and she really just took advantage to bring that ball to zone 1 of UP.
Rob Celia with the serve. Itang with a roll shot. Esperos will attack. That one sails out.
Attack error for Ethan Esperos. That ball was too over.
So Jen Umayam on deck to serve.
All-to-play rule is still in play for today's first set. So we're yet to see, of course, the familiar faces of our shining stars from UP. Of course, we have Dogalio, Gajero, and Capistrano for UP.
Well, Kian Olango continues to be a force to be reckoned with here for the UP Fighting Maroons.
That's already her 4th point.
Although that serve goes wide here for the UP Fighting Maroons. Two-point lead still for the Ateneo Blue Eagles. Mangilimutan sets up Itang. The Chavez bomb set to Nesperos. And Nesperos gets a check.
Quick bounce back for Isa Nesperos to use the hands of the blockers to really just shake the defense of UP. Nakalikod na dun yung libero ng UP. That's why it was very hard for her to read where that ball was going to land.
Pinacheck niya na lang sa kamay ni Bien Bansil. Kian Ulango. Quick response coming from this young gun.
5 points already for Kian Olango. And this time, you really see her effort in every approach that she wants it to be as explosive as she can. So maybe later, pag nabantayan na siya, we'll see her varying her attacks.
Over receive from Ateneo, although they were able to adjust. It was an error coming from Haboneta, trying to go for a drop ball, although falling short, which brings us to our second technical timeout, 16-13 in favor of Ateneo.
From era to era to era, the fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years.
Unli projects, plans, play, games. With Smart Unli 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Back from that second technical timeout, Ateneo with a good start to open up this, her second match of the day, trying to clinch that 5th place. So it's a battle for 5th and 6th here for our second match. After this game, though, our much-awaited finals between UST and NU, that's gonna be an exciting one. You still have time to make your way here to the Rizal Memorial Coliseum to catch the game live. But if not, we have our live stream platforms for our volleyball fans to enjoy the epic showdown between the Golden Tigresses and the NU Lady Bulldogs. UP unable to break free from the 2-point deficit of Ateneo.
Ateneo also doing a good job in really protecting that advantage as Hermosora once again will fly and soar successfully for her squad. Here, even with 2 blockers in front of her, dun niya pa rin pinadaan because she was confident that that will go over.
Hermosura, we saw her play in the Shakey's Girls Volleyball Invitational League in the high school division. She was part of the Bacolod Taitong team together with Cortez and De Leon. And now they're playing together here for Ateneo in the collegiate ranks.
I guess it's also an advantage to have that kind of familiarity, to be able to already know your teammates well and how they play inside the court. Less adjustments for them, rather. One-hand set and the free ball for UP.
Mangilimutan to Noceja. And Yesha Noceja finally gets one, targeting that left pin.
And finally warmed up in today's match. Noceja will get her first point in today's game.
Noceja actually also one of a promising player for the UP Fighting Maroons. Cortez chooses Hermosura again. 1v1 versus Nina Itang. Hermosura prevails.
And what you like about this girl is kahit sino yung nasa harap niya, kahit makakatapat niya na, she will give it her all because of that grit and intention to get a point.
Oo, hindi siya natatakot sa mga blockers. And I mean, Nina Itang is a decorated blocker in the UAAP, but now playing the opposite position, although committing an error.
Well, usually that is a strategy that some coaches opt for, is to make a middle blocker play in the opposite side of the court, mainly because of their height and their reach, and nakatapat sila sa open spiker, which is usually the percentage spiker for their opponents. So that's another strategy that I think Coach Fabio is trying to test out here in the Shakey Super League.
Well, another one is Ira Haboneta playing libero. She's a talented
Open spiker, yes.
Pero today, giving those services for the reception and the floor defense. Meanwhile, Nina Itang, agad-agad naman bumawi.
Just showing how decorated she is, again, as a player na madali siyang mag-adjust kahit saan man siyang posisyon ilagay. Another point for her Mesura. That's already her 5th point. And really just manning and showing mastery when it comes to being set in the open side of the court. Medyo malayo na siya sa net. She's not that tall, but she gets her angles right and she calculates for just the right amount of power in each spike. Good first ball.
Good pass there from Noceja. Cortez chooses Pasha. That one clearly going out.
Medyo na kapasok dun si Pasha when she approached for that ball, resulting that ball to really go long. And of course, a fan favorite, Dongalio, will now step in for the UP Fighting Maroons. All-to-play rule now is not in play as it goes over the 16-point line. As Dongalio will commit a service error as she comes in. And of course, it's hard because she just comes in from the bench still a bit cold. So we'll see how she will adjust and bounce back.
De Leon. That attack goes out for Kian Olango. With a substitution here. Timeout rather by Coach Fabio Menta. Let's listen in.
Must be about a month that we discussed in the last point how to deal with the ball, how to take responsibility, how to distribute. Okay? Quick middle if you have the ball, but they're waiting in front with a double block, so you come behind with the middle. If not, we're shooting on that side, so the middle on that side is late and we play the gap. Because we're risking the line, we gotta play the gap. Let's go.
That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
Very strategic when it comes to volleyball IQ and implementing the kinds of adjustments that Coach Fabio wants to see in setting up that ball to their attackers, especially because now we see double blockings coming from the Ateneo Blue Eagles. Coach Fabio is looking for their setter to really confuse the blockers of Ateneo and to be smarter when it comes to producing their set plays.
Very technical reminders from Coach Fabio Menta. De Leon to Gajero.
Gajero and Dongalio now inside for the UP Fighting Maroons. More of the starters for them. Explosive attacks from Gajero, and that's something we missed from UP, is that we're sure to witness explosive and aggressiveness whenever they attack, and more often than not, it's Jelay Gajero who will produce that kinds of points.
Jelay Gajero coming back from a big injury, but as soon as she steps on the court, immediate impact, not just by, well, the point she's making, but also the leadership that she shows. Cortez, 1-2 play. Itang with a save. De Leon from the middle. Good target from this young gun.
Celebration for Cortez and De Leon on the side of the Blue Eagles as they gain that point. You know, from the middle, it was a quick activation. Wala siyang blocker, so it was a free point for them to really just target that anywhere, and the defensive line of UP will surely be challenged to get that ball.
De Leon to Gajero. Cortez to Pasha. Coverage was there for Ateneo. De Leon, tough set.
What elevation we can see from Gajero. Buhay pa rin ang bola. That was a great pancake save from Haboneta.
Pasha will try. De Leon.
It's important for them to stay composed. Gajero will close this rally with an explosive attack once again.
Gajero finishes that rally off.
Grabe yung ikot ng kamay niya whenever she approaches. It actually doesn't come from high, but it comes from below. So it really gets more power and force from her.
3-point lead for Ateneo.
I have Itang, Bansil, and Gajero in the front line. That is a huge advantage for UP. But that attack error will not be in their favor. Although Coach Fabio will call for a challenge for that point.
Block touch challenge here. The first challenge of this match. Block touch.
You know, when the score is this close, you can't risk it.
That's called on the side of UP on that last rally by, or that attack by Nina Itang on the hands of the blockers of Ateneo. Our referees initially called it as the Ateneo point, but Coach Fabio challenging the call. Seeing if there was a touch. This is going to be a crucial call, and it will dictate the rest of this first set. Both teams convening, giving each other reminders. Good start also actually, Richie, from Ateneo. Nina Itang, of course.
Let's see that replay. Was there a block touch? And yes, I believe that Pinky just...
There was a block touch on the Pinky there. What a call. Good eyes on the side of the UP bench. Touching the Pinky of the blockers, and that forces the hands of Coach Sergio. That isn't in.
Hey, Bethesda, remember, the service, it's a little long. Okay, Bethesda, if you can't catch ball, overhand touch, you can use it. Okay, don't stop.
Having in set number 1. Sarado ang bangko, sabi ni Bien Bansil on Zay Pasha. This block is brought to you by Peri Peri Charcoal Chicken and Sauce Bar. Order now.
Oh, actually, that was the hands of Gajero that got that block.
Crucial points here. UP coming in clutch.
Yeah, still 3 spikers in front for UP.
Esperos with a powerful hit.
No matter who the blockers are, count on Isan Esperos to come in with full force. What a beautiful attack with everything she's got. She gave it her all. Just landing that point in front of Haboneta.
That puts Ateneo at set point. De Leon to Gajero. And Gajero saves a set point there.
You know, what you notice with UP was that their energy really got uplifted when Gajero started scoring points in this first set.
Yes, as soon as she came in the court. Now you have Gajero at the back, but Cassie Dongalio up front.
Easy serve there.
De Leon.
This time Dongalio in front.
Tough set for Hermosura.
Ateneo may need to close this set right away if they don't want Dongalio to be activated in front.
De Leon, chance for UP. And Ateneo takes set number 1.
What a beautiful performance coming from the Ateneo Blue Eagles, blocking Dongalio right in front. Let's see that once again. You see so much conviction when Cassie Dongalio actually came in for that attack, but Nesperos just knew with her smile when she jumped for that wall that she was going to get that block.
Set number 1 in favor of the Ateneo Blue Eagles, 25-23.
Shakey's fun goes on and on and on, on and on and on. Shakey's got it going on, we still bring the fun.
With decades of great pizza, chicken, and mojos.
Shakey's fun goes on and on.
From era to era to era. The fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years.
The fun goes on at Shakey's.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
Only projects, plans, play, games. With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Unite, every heart is taking flight. Shakey's Super League, dream big, believe.
Hey Shakey's fans, the holidays just got merrier with our Merry Meal deal, packed with your all-time favorites, pizza, chicken, mojos, and more. It's the ultimate feast to make your celebrations extra special. Set number 1, it was a good matchup between these two teams. Just a preview, actually, Richie, of what we have in store for us for the rest of this match as we see our highlights. For Ateneo, magandang start yung pinakita nila, kaya rin sila nanalo ng set na to.
Yung pagpasok nila sa court, mainit na agad yung energy na pinakita ng pareho nating koponan. We had, of course, Olango for the Fighting Maroons and Hermosura, Nesperos, and Pasha who showed up for the Ateneo Blue Eagles. But come the latter parts of the second set, syempre nagpakitang gilas din naman si Gajero, si Dongalio, pero ang pagkatapos din ni Nesperos na pagko-block nun. Set statistics, 14 attack points for Ateneo and 17 for UP. 2 blocks for UP while 1 for Ateneo and 1 service ace for Ateneo. 9 errors which really cost UP that set and only 4 for Ateneo.
So, yung Ateneo Blue Eagles naman ang nagwagi sa set number 1. Set number 2, different set of players. This set is brought to you by Shakey's. From era to era to era, the fun keeps rolling. 50 years of fun, family, and pizza at Shakey's.
Quick point there for Tanchi of the Ateneo Blue Eagles as she scores from the opposite side of the court. 2 spikers in front of her and she just used the blocker's hands to get it.
Yep, quick conversion there coming from Tanchi.
Now, set number 2, but we have Gajero and Dongalio for the UP Fighting Maroons, while we have Hora and Jigha for the Ateneo Blue Eagles. We'll see how they will convert. Coming from the bench, of course, they're so cold, they may need time to warm up.
On the floor for Ateneo, we have Hora, Njigha, Silios, Gulapa, Baltazar, and Tanchi. All to play rule. In effect for UP, we have De Leon, Baklay, Ali, Gajero, Gamboa, and Casi Dongalio. Jenna Hora with an attack. That one sails out.
First error there for Hora. Now 1-1 is our score.
Capistrano now playing as the libero for UP. That one does not go over. Oh, sorry. Point is awarded to Ateneo. They get a check ball. De Leon, the second setter for UP, also doing such a great job for the Fighting Maroons.
Miss set there for Ali of the UP Fighting Maroons. I think she opted for a higher set but was given a lower one, making it difficult for her to adjust.
Josel Njigha,
former baby spiker actually, who is now playing for Ateneo.
Baltazar sets up Gulapa. So that was the left wing. But Jelay Gajero hammers that one down. What a set there by De Leon. And Gajero targeting the end line. Baltazar to Hora. Hora finds that spot on the side of UP.
Finally getting her groove on. Hora finds the perfect calculation, especially with two blockers in front of her, just trying to angle that ball where it won't hit the blocker's hands.
Hora with the serve, good receive by Dongalio, and what a finish by Jelay Gajero.
Jelay Gajero, no matter how many blockers you put in front of her, mapadalawa, mapatatlo, nakaibabaw siya sa bola eh. That's what makes it so difficult for blockers to really guard her. Kasi ang bilis ng bola niya at ang taas niya.
That play was brought to you by Kick, powered by Smart. Our way, our rules. Download the app now. Attack from the left wing. And Silios gets a check ball, a check touch. That's her second point so far here in the second set. She now serves for the Blue Eagles, but commits a service error.
Jelay Gajero now on deck to serve for the UP Fighting Maroons.
De Leon to the middle. Capistrano bump set to Casi. Casi will try again. Hora was there. Tough set for Tanchi. Point is awarded to UP.
Net touch violation there on the side of Ateneo. Set was a bit too close for Tanchi. Score is now equal, 5 apiece.
Baltazar sets up Tanchi. Gajero from the pipe. So that one goes straight to the net.
Her arm was a bit too low when she hit and had contact with that ball. Gulapa now on deck to serve for Ateneo.
Dongalio with a drop. What a smart play coming from this girl.
Actually being set up by Gajero from the back. So not even coming from a spiker, but Dongalio just doing a good job adjusting herself and really looking at where the ball can land without the defensive line of Ateneo to guard it.
Ang ganda ng kanyang basa sa last floor defense pattern ng Ateneo. Nakita niya yung buta sa likod ng blocker.
And this time, walang coverage na nakita natin sa UP Fighting Maroons as that ball will be awarded to Ateneo. Let's see that spike once again. You know, with so much power, of course, that ball will go through. But of course, pag defender ka ng UP, kailangan nakaabang ka din pag may nagpa-block sa harap.
Baltazar sets up Tanchi. Miscalculating that one. That one sails out. All tied up now at 7 here in the second set.
Good serve.
And Jigha with a quick attack down the middle.
You see that ball was actually a bit low for Njigha, but she was also as quick. That's why she was able to adjust.
First technical timeout score is 8-7 in favor of the Blue Eagles.
From era to era to era, the fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years.
Only projects, plans, play, games. With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
You are still tuned in to the 2025 Shakey Super League Preseason Unity Cup. Jelle Gajero used to play for the UE Red Warriors, and this is the first tournament where she's donning the maroon and white. At isa lang ang motivation niya, it is to contribute her best to end this SSL campaign with a higher ranking for her teammates. At kitang-kita naman natin yan with her explosive attacks. It's been a continuous work for them to sharpen their communications in the court dahil sabi nga ni Jelay, the players are very strong individually and it's just a matter of playing and winning together. She feels very honored to be part of the team and very proud to wear the UP jersey mapa dito man sa SSL o sa kanilang mother league in the UAAP. Ladies?
Well, Jelay Gajero has continued to show what she's got here in the tournament. Her whole season coming back from an injury, that's no easy task at all, mentally or physically, but definitely leading by example and by action also to her younger teammates.
You know what, a great point also to mention is that they're all strong individually when it comes to their personality. So being in a team with such players and such individual preferences, it really just shows how professional you have to be inside the court to really get that kind of chemistry with your teammates.
Baltazar with a bump set. Silo sends that one over. Ali. Bump set from De Chavez. Silios to attack. And a block point here coming from UP.
No entry, sabi ng UP for that previous sequence. Now, Ateneo has been very aggressive when it comes to showing up for their attacks. That's why UP just doing extra effort.
This block is brought to you by Peri Peri Charcoal Chicken and Sauce Bar. Order now.
Floor defense also for Ateneo has been faulty in the past few points. So we'll see how that will be adjusted in the next sequences. But good job in serving as well. That was a service ace from Casey Dongalio.
This time UP with the lead and back-to-back service aces for Cassie Dongalio. That forces the hands of Coach Sergio Veloso. Let's hear from them.
So it's long. You cannot stay in front. Okay? What do? Stay here, the ball in front of you, control me. The ball on, use overhead touch.
was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
And what we noticed from Coach Serio when he does his timeouts is that he really gives specific instructions to each one of his girls depending on their responsibilities inside of the court. But I think what's also important to note is that you actually notice them talking to one another because they're given time to also communicate with their teammates.
Bomb set from Dongallo as she sets up Ali. Baltazar to Hora.
Another attack error coming from Hora. That was also her attack error, exactly the same. So she may need to adjust how her contact with the ball will result to.
No touch there by De Leon, but that was a close one. Baltazar to Tanchi in the back. Gajero again with another point for the UP Fighting Maroons.
Point after point after point. You'd think na mauubos din tong power at explosiveness ni Gajero, but it just shows how skillfully gifted she is with her athletic build, of course, and her desire to soar high.
Hora. De Leon to Ali. Tanchi unable to control that ball.
In her previous attacks, Ali was being defended well kasi medyo mas mataas yung bola niya and it was a bit slower, but this time it's sharp.
This spike is brought to you by Potato Corner, world's best flavored fries. Order now. Jenna Hora gets through that block by Gajero and Gamboa.
Mabilis din bumawi itong si Hora of the Ateneo Blue Eagles, being set up actually out of system play, but she was still able to adjust quickly with a faster tempo set.
5-point lead here for UP. Better passing as well.
Good blocking also for Ateneo. No touch there will be called as that ball will sail out for Ali, awarding that point to the Blue Eagles.
Ali struggling to get going here in the second set so far. Coach Fabio naman calling for a timeout.
I told you before, they play cross on that side. You gotta go inside, you gotta help the middle. We can't leave the gap. On this side, on super quick ball, you have to play the gap because you know that the block is open. You're doing reverse now. So bring the block inside, help the middle, crossing the cross court, libero deep because they're not hitting. And now when you play super quick, attack gap. Let's go.
Okay, let's go! Yay! Laban! Okay!
The huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
Again, very technical instruction. Actually, in the first set, you heard Coach Fabio instructing his girls to really play the gaps when it comes to the blockings of Ateneo. But this time, he's telling them to do the opposite because Ateneo has already been adjusting to the kind of play that UP has showing.
De Leon to Gajero. Angela Gajero once again. A name that we keep repeating, and I feel like we will continue to do so with the amount of points she's racking up here as we head on to our second technical timeout. Score is 16-11, this time in favor of the UP Fighting Maroons.
From era to era to era, the fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years.
Only projects, plans, play, games. With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app. Choose your number. Activate the eSIM and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Back from that second technical timeout, the UP Fighting Maroons this time with the lead here in the match. Ateneo taking set number 1 earlier. Let's see if UP can come crawling back or if Ateneo can maintain their lead from that first set. Jelay Gaero again receiving that play so well.
Smart play coming from Jelay Gajero. Kanina explosive attacks. We kept saying na paulit-ulit yung ginagawa, and this time she chose to vary her attacks and actually choose for a drop ball.
Say Pasha now on the court for Ateneo. Pasha gets that one to go. 5-point lead now for UP.
You know, Pasha was one of the players who really shined in their previous game, so it's nice to see her being activated well in the second set. Her first set was a bit faulty, but this time she's determined to have a better play.
De Leon chooses Ali in the opposite. And Ali scores a point down the line.
Better contact and hit coming from Ali. A bit far from the net, but with her height and her reach, it was easier for her to adjust. All-to-play rule now not in play, as the second technical timeout is now over. Both coaches and both teams are now free to put in whoever they want for the rest of the game.
Almost an ace here for UP.
First line attack. Even the players of Ateneo were shocked with that kind of attack coming from Jelay Gajero.
This cool play is brought to you by R&B Milk Tea. Order now. What an attack that was. Timeout by Ateneo. Let's listen in.
Stay in the base. If you feel it's a ball four or battle, you can approach. But remember, she hit here, okay, hits and attention. Okay, it's you move over the ball. Okay, look, is there you can touch this ball. Okay, and this ball. Okay, let's go.
That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
I'm liking seeing Coach Serio actually more motivational and just trying to uplift his girls, especially because they have been playing really well in today's game. So I think just the consistency and the establishment of their first balls is what's needed in today's second set.
Cortez sets up Nisperos. Isa Nisperos back in the court here.
Quick response and adjustment coming from the Blue Eagles. As we have another substitution coming our way, Tanchi will come out as Hermesora will come in for the Ateneo Blue Eagles. Now Hermesora had such a wonderful first set. She had 6 points in the previous set. So let's see how she will contribute to today's second set.
Although Zay Pasha commits a service error, sends out one straight to the net. Jelay Gajero already with 11 points. And that was immediate impact when we saw her come in the latter part of the first set.
More substitutions for the Blue Eagles, and Jake Ha out and De Leon in, Celia out. Celia in, rather.
For Gulapa. (20-14) is our score in favor of the UP Fighting Maroons. Again, for this match, it's the battle for 5th and 6th place. Battle of Katipunan. Familiar foes here. Both these squads battled it out in the second round of the tournament.
Very textbook volleyball for that back quick attack coming from the UP Fighting Maroons.
That was scared of Baklay. She now is on deck to serve. Cortez to De Leon. Good save by UP, although that third touch, unable to get in that court.
Now Hermesura, De Leon in the front line. with Cortez as their setter, 2 spikers in front for Ateneo.
Good set there to Dongalio.
A longer hit there was decided to be made by Dongalio rather than her usual powerful attacks.
Yup, seeing yung opportunity sa likod, may butas nga. Doon na lang niya pinadala yung bola. Pasha from the pipe. De Leon. Miss timing.
Miss timing is the correct term for that previous sequence, as De Leon was too early to jump for that ball. Actually, she put her hands down because she thought that that ball wasn't going to go over. Unfortunately, sometimes the net can be very tricky and be unfriendly to your side of the court.
Yung miscalculation on the part there of the middle blockers. Point again for UP. That puts them at set point.
Better performance from our UP Fighting Maroons.
De Leon. What an attack from Donna De Leon down the middle.
You see that ball just disappeared as soon as she was set up. And that's why it's a quick attack, because really the ball just goes by.
UP in control still. 24-16. Olango. That is enough for set number 2, for UP to bag set number 2 rather. We're now all tied up at 1 set apiece. Let's take a look at this last sequence.
Olango just doing a good job and very consistent when she is being activated, closing this set.
1 set apiece here for both Ateneo and UP. 25-23, 25-16.
With each new decade, a fun new side. Still serving smiles on every plate. 50 great years, let's celebrate. Shakey's fun goes on and on and on, on and on and on. Shakey's got it going on. We still bring the fun.
With decades of great pizza, chicken, and mojos.
Shakey's fun goes on and on.
From era to era to era. The fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years.
The fun goes on at Shakey's.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
Only projects, plans, play, games. With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Score is 25-23 and 25-16. 1 set apiece for this battle of Katipunan. Hey Shakey's fans, the holidays just got merrier with our Merry Meal deal, packed with your all-time favorites, pizza, chicken, mojos, and more. It's the ultimate feast to make your celebrations extra special. What a way to spend your weekend here with us for our championship day. But let's look back at what happened, Richie, in set number 2.
You know, they both performed really well given that they were both cold coming from set number 1. But of course, we had Hora, who had a couple of points to her name, while for UP, we had Gajero and Dongalio, who really stepped up. Ali struggled to find her groove, but fortunately found it right after. But of course, the explosive attacks coming from Jella and Gajero really just set apart the second set. And of course, that beautiful finish coming from Olango of the UP Fighting Maroons.
So let's now take a look at our set statistics here.
12 points coming from the attacks of UP, habang Ateneo naman ay nakakuha ng 10. 1 block for UP and none for Ateneo. 2 service aces for UP and wala din sa Ateneo. Ang kailangan din i-adjust ng Ateneo for this next set is their errors. They had 10 while UP only had 6.
Set number 3, this set is brought to you by Shakey's. From era to era to era, the fun keeps rolling. 50 years of fun, family, and pizza at Shakey's. Let's see who will take this set.
First point will be awarded to the UP Fighting Maroons, as Casey Dongalio will now go on deck to serve.
UP with a point here to open things up for us. Set number 3. First units from both teams. Leading scorers so far for UP, we have Jella Gajero with 11, Kian Olango with 7, and Nina Itang with 5. And for the side of Ateneo, the leading scorer so far is Nisperos with 6 and Hermosura with 5. But Kian Olango continues to be spectacular here as the wing spiker for UP.
Yeah, we didn't see a lot of her from the second set as she was resting, but in the first set, she was one of the most dominating spikers. She actually had 5 points in just the first set.
Gajero to attack.
Another point, make it 12 points from Jella Gajero.
This spike is brought to you by Potato Corner, world's best flavored fries. Order now. Again, si Jella Gajero na naman. Well, if you're UP, specifically Julia De Leon, she has ang dami niyang spikers na pwedeng puntahan. Bien Batsil in the front, Gajero, Ulango playing in the opposite position. So such a deadly artillery here that UP has right now.
Oh, but let's take note also that De Leon is actually setting for UP and not mga limutan.
So second setter, actually siya ngayong third setter if we count Kizzy Madriaga, but she's not playing today. Also another bright spot for UP.
I guess this is also Coach Fabio's way of really putting in exposure to each of his setters, especially because that's such a critical role, as Jella Gajero will score another point yet again.
Big contributions from this girl.
13 points already, back to back.
Cortez to De Leon.
Staying aggressive at the net. Free ball for UP.
De Leon to Gajero.
And back-to-back points for Jella Gajero from spike after spike and now a drop.
Those quick shoot sets have been working here, delaying those blockers from Ateneo. Freeing up Jella Gajero to go for that attack.
Exactly. You know, it's one thing to set up a spiker, but it's another to set up a spiker based on what actually will be best for them. And this way, or in the previous sequences, it's really those shoot sets, the faster tempo sets for Jella Gajero because she elevates really fast.
All things looking good for the side of the Fighting Maroons. Let's listen in to the Ateneo timeout.
Get the line. How you move to get this ball? It's ball not for you. Then you get the ball here. The same. What you do? You need to play without the ball. Yes? And the ball go there. And you prepare for the defense. Then you go slow, the ball for you, the ball bounce in front of you. Rotation. Okay, okay, what's the number?
Basa muna tayo.
That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
You know, what I noticed with Coach Serio, every time he has a timeout, he gives time to give instruction to his girls individually. But of course, we have highlights here coming from Jelay Gajero. Already so many points in back-to-back-to-back. That's 14 points already for this whole match.
Yes. Played, given so much contributions here in this match. Actually, I feel like we can say she was the game changer coming in late that first set.
Yes.
And nag-iba yung aura ng UP Fighting Maroons as soon as she stepped in the court. (7-1) is our score. Ateneo scores a point here, care of Zay Pasha.
You know, Pasha is a very tall, one of their taller spikers, so it's really advantageous for them to activate her even when she's in the back row, as her reach is really high. Good first ball for UP.
Gajero again.
How can you even come up with words when somebody is as unstoppable as Jelay Gajero?
Nakailang puntos na ata siya dito sa third set pa lang. That brings us to our second technical timeout.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app. Choose your number. Activate the eSIM and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Good eyesight makes perfect moments. For expert eye care, state-of-the-art facilities, affordable eyewear. Go to EO. EO Executive Optical. Love your eyes.
Unli projects, plans, play, games! With Smart Unli 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
You are still tuned in to the 2025 Shakey Super League Preseason Unity Cup. Gusto kong makabawi sa UP. This was Ana Hermosura's answer when I asked how she wants to close out their campaign in this game against their Katipunan rival. Despite showing a strong performance and being the MVP of the match in the recent game against CSB, hindi niya daw ito masyadong iniisip dahil mas nape-pressure daw siya. Ang gusto niya lang ay tumulong sa mga seniors and to drive Ateneo to a good showing. Coach Sergio has nothing but praises to this rookie, saying that Ana has a good ball control and it's a matter of harnessing that to consistently outsmart opponents and play with even more confidence. Kayla and Richie?
Well, Ana Hermosura, a promising rookie, now playing in the collegiate ranks.
You know, rookie, but she definitely does not play as a rookie. And for you to have that kind of fighting spirit na gusto mo agad bumawi and you take things a bit personal when it comes to the losses that you have, and just it brings out motivation as a player to come in each game with determination.
Pero
as well.
Ngayon naman, si Jelay Gajero continuing to be such a force on the side of the Fighting Maroons.
You know, and to think that she comes off from an injury as well. You'd think na may takot na siya ng onte, but I don't think we see an ounce of fear coming from Jelay Gajero.
Cassie Dongalio gets a point. Finds some hands up top there.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot coming from Dongalio in today's match. But now that she's in the front line, I'm sure that she will contribute to her team.
Well, she's also not getting that much sets.
Yes.
If I noticed.
Medyo kalat din yung sets between all of the players of UP, as well as Ateneo, as Cortez will activate Celia in the middle. You know, that's what we like about Cortez. Every time she is delivered a perfect pass from her receivers, she will quickly activate her middles.
This cool play is brought to you by R&B Milk Tea. Order now. De Leon to Dongalio. Cortez sets up Pasha. Ateneo will recharge. Dongalio again. Good digs coming from De Chavez. Zay Pasha finally gets that one to go. Zay Pasha here with a bump set. Using the hands of the blockers. Medyo na late din dun si De Leon.
And Pasha is definitely heating up in this set. Nabasa na yon ng blockers ng Ateneo as that ball was going to be a drop ball.
This block is brought to you by Peri Peri Charcoal Chicken and Sauce Bar. Order now. Timeout called by Coach Fabio Menta.
Now, when the speed of their service changes, all we have to do is raise the platform to play safe high ball. If it's away from the net, it's okay. We play wings, all right? But don't put the setter under pressure because otherwise we play nothing. All right, so a higher platform, high ball, short is okay.
That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
Now, the reason why the UP Fighting Maroons has been so successful when they come from timeouts is because Coach Fabio has been very technical with the strategies and the adjustments that he wants to see from his girls. Now, this time he was really just reminding the girls of their form and what to adjust and how to adjust it. So from the little things to the little reminders, his girls are able to perform at that level while Niña Itang will attack. And this time, I think she's playing middle blocker. Kanina, nakita natin opposite siya. So now she's adjusting again. And that's just the beauty in her as an individual athlete, is that whatever kind of responsibility and position she is giving, she accepts it wholeheartedly.
Zay Pasha again here for Ateneo. She's our PusoP.com player of the game in their last match versus CSB and continues to prove her skills and what she's got here for the Blue Eagles.
You have to give credit to the Ateneo Blue Eagles with Fujimoto not in play and not in costume for today's match. So many players have been stepping up, especially Cortez, who is filling in that spot for their senior setter. So really good improvement when it comes to their chemistry inside of the court.
Outside serve coming from De Leon. Mangilimutan has not come back or hasn't gone back in the court. So far, it's been De Leon doing the play, orchestrating the plays of UP.
Well, it's an adjustment for the spikers as well as the setter. But I think UP is doing a good job in adjusting. Although that ball will not enter the court of Ateneo as that block was really manhandled by the blockers of Ateneo.
This block is brought to you by Peri Peri Charcoal Chicken and Sauce Bar. Order now. No entry, says Ateneo on that hit by Cassie Dongalio. Ulango. Bomb set here to Pasha. And Zay Pasha continues to deliver the goods for Ateneo.
That spike was placed beautifully for Pasha, seeing that the zone 1 was actually open and the blockers weren't there.
That play was brought to you by Kick, powered by Smart. Our way, our rules. Download the app now.
Over reception for Dongalio.
Pasha again.
This time, that ball will sail out. Medyo nagmadali din siya mag-approach at pumasok dun sa bola na yon. Kaya medyo nag-ibabaw na rin yung kamay niya.
Faulty received. Free ball here for UP. Gajero.
Set for Gajero, but that ball will sail out as it hits the antenna.
Too close to the net for Jelle Gajero. Miss set also on the part of De Leon. Serve too strong for Zay Pasha.
Now, outside of the court, we see Coach Fabio talking to Mangalimutan already to maybe come in. So maybe we'll see a little bit of playing time for her in the next sequences.
Hermosura.
And again, this spiker is really just so decorated when it comes to adjusting in her spikes. With two blockers in front of her, mapa-cross court man yan or down the line, she will come in with full force, usually successful.
This spike is brought to you by Potato Corner, world's best flavored fries. Order now. Jelay Gajero again. Kaso, that one goes out.
Awarding that point to Ateneo. Now, you don't want to give Ateneo confidence because once they get that, consistent na yan, like what we saw in the first set.
Donna De Leon with the serve. Bump set to Olango. Hermosura. Olango unable to cover that block.
Back-to-back points for Hermosura. No, again, wala siyang takot. Dalawang blockers, kahit tatlo pa yan. And then a set far from the net as well. Really just forcing her hand.
Set number 3. Another tight one here in the Battle of Katipunan. Lisperos denied at the net by Gajero and Nina Itang. What a block that was coming from Itang. As we reach our second technical timeout, score is 16-14 in favor of UP.
From era to era to era, the fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years.
Only projects, plans, play, games. With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app. Choose your number. Activate the eSIM and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
This Shakey Super Fans of the Game is brought to you by Shakey's. From era to era to era, the fun keeps rolling. 50 years of fun, family, and pizza at Shakey's. Volleyball fans in attendance here at the Rizal Memorial Coliseum. We are currently in our second match of the day, battle for 5th and 6th position. Well, after this, the much-awaited championship between NU and UST.
And come support your favorite teams and players only here at the Shakey Super League.
If you can't make your way here, we have our live stream platforms. We are live on Puso Pilipinas, pusop.com, Facebook, and YouTube. And a TV broadcast on Solar Sports for our volleyball viewers to watch this exciting championship matchup later.
Really just the sweet spot of Nina Itang is to get that ball over the net as quick as possible, and that's exactly what happened in that previous point.
Only a 2-point lead here for the UP Fighting Maroons. Cortez to the middle. De Leon chooses Dongalio. Pasha from the pipe. Finds an opening on the side of UP.
Now what you notice with Pasha is that every time she gets a point to her name, she will celebrate that. And right there, she sees that open spot in the middle of the UP defensive line.
That's Pasha's 10th point of the match, 6 in this set alone.
Yeah, so we saw her not really contributing as much as she would want to in the first few sets, but this time she has been the main gunner for the Ateneo Blue Eagles.
Hermosura from the back row. Dongalio with an off speed. Pasha was there. Powerful hit from Nisperos. Coach Sherry is definitely happy about that one.
See Isa Nesperos just really showing up as a leader in her team. You know, before she was one of the rookies and now she's actually one of the seniors. And that's why before when I spoke to her, she was really putting emphasis in really accepting that role as a senior to perform well for her team.
All tied up now at 17. Good reflexes by Jelay Gajero. Bump set to Zay Pasha. Good reflexes from UP, but Celia emerges victorious there in that last joust at the net.
Let's see that play once again. Full force for Celia.
Ateneo now regains control, 18-17, although nagkamali doon si Ana Hermosura sa kanyang serve, which puts us back to 18. All tied up now.
De Leon, Dongalio, actually 3 spikers in front for UP and 2 for Ateneo.
Pasha. Dongali, free ball here. Naitawid ni Jelay Gajero yun. Point for Ateneo. Better pass for UP.
A lower set for Dongalio also.
Nesperos.
You have to love the aura and the celebration of the Ateneo Blue Eagles. You know, before, it would take a while for them to heat up, but this time, like, each player has been showing up for their squad, and I think that's the beauty in really activating all of her spikers, giving credit, of course, to Cortez.
Pinahinga muna si Jelay Gajero ni Coach Fabio Menta. Played a spectacular game, and of course, Tasi Dongalio stepping up here.
Usually, magkadiagonal itong si Dongalio and si Gajero, but this time that Gajero stepped out, Casey Dongalio is now stepping in to shine for their team. You know, they need that spark plug.
De Leon chooses Olango.
Olango this time, and she asks for a check, and she will be granted one.
All tied again at 20. Cortez sets up Pasha. What a finish there by Kian Olango.
And you see how she actually squatted down and waited for the perfect timing to really get that attack.
The school play is brought to you by R&B Milk Tea. Order now. That's no easy feat actually. I mean, you come from an attack, na-block ka, tapos tatalon ka ulit,
tapos papaluin mo. You know, usually you get like a block from it or just a tip, but pinalo niya. So it has so much force also, but a service error coming from her this time.
That's a service error by Julia De Leon, the setter. Again, still tied at 21, a tied third set we're having here. De Leon to Olango. Again, Kian just too much for the Blue Eagles so far.
From the opposite side to sa mga patong play niya, and this time from the open area, she has been very consistent in providing the most points for her squad.
11 points now for Kian Olango. Katulong din ni Jelay Gajero. Good chase by Dongalio. Pasha from the opposite. De Leon chooses Dongalio at the back row. Esperos with the drop. Kian. Not the strongest of hits. Well, a point's a point for UP.
Very fortunate point there coming from UP, especially with that kind of attack that it will hit the net and not the blocker's hands. You'd wish for it to sail out, but that will land right on the line.
Remember, 1, 8. Hey, look, the last two defense. This ball for the defense. You kept here, you stay in the position. The ball touching the net. Don't play strong ball. And you too. You stay in your position like that.
Guys, stop it! Dalawa lang! Kaya natin to!
Let's go. Stay in the position. Okay. Donna, quick. Go, fast, quick.
That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
Again, very composed energy coming from Coach Fabio in that previous time out. Just really reminding his girls on the form and the positions they have, especially with their defense.
Nesperos. Ball still alive here. Nesperos will try again. Good chase by Dongalio. De Leon from the middle gets a check.
De Leon taking advantage of being activated quicker. Actually, she didn't have time to step back and actually properly approach for that spike, but she was still able to get that through the hands of the blockers, who is actually Bansil of UP.
De Leon to Noceja.
A quiet but fast attack coming from Noceja on the open side of the court.
Yes, Noceja only her second point for UP as they are now at set point.
Olango, Itang, and Noceja in front for UP, while De Leon, Nesperos for Ateneo, as well as her Mesura, but Ateneo will save another set point of UP in that sequence that is in favor of De Leon once again.
Coach Fabio Menta calls for time. Crucial moments here for both squads.
Let's play behind, okay? We play from zone 2 or zone 3 behind. Okay, open up the game. Overload, right? Stay ready. We overload right, and then you have a shoot. If you have a shoot, it's cross court. Play the gap, don't play line, all right? Play this without one pass inside the 2 meters, and we okay. Let's go.
That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
Again, very technical and direct instructions on what Coach Fabio wants to see in the next point, especially with such a crucial moment of Ateneo having 23 and UP at 24. As much as possible, you do not want to extend this set if you are in the shoes of the UP Fighting Maroons.
Set point still for UP.
And that will cap off our third set. 25-23 is our score in favor of the UP Fighting Maroons as Ateneo Blue Eagles committed a service error.
23-25, 25-16, 25-23, 2-1 in favor of UP.
Each new decade, a fun new side. Still serving smiles on every plate. 50 great years, let's celebrate. Shakey's fun goes on and on and on, on and on and on. Shakey's got it going on. We still bring the fun.
With decades of great pizza, chicken, and mojos.
Shakey's fun goes on and on.
From era to era to era. The fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years.
The fun goes on at Shakey's.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Shakey's creamy spinach pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
Only projects, plans, play, games. With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Stronger, faster, higher we go. Feel the passion. Let it show. With every step we chase.
Hey Shakey's fans, the holidays just got merrier with our Merry Meal deal packed with your all-time favorites, pizza, chicken, mojos, and more. It's the ultimate feast to make your celebrations extra special. Set number 3, a thrilling close set we had here, Richie.
You know, we had the starters for both of our teams except for mga limutan of the UP Fighting Maroons, but really just activating all of their spikers. We had a display of a very great attack coming from Olango, Pasha, of course, who had a number of attacks. Of course, we had Dongalio, who showed up for her squad as well. But this just ending from a service error coming from Ateneo, unfortunately. So that will set UP apart. 25-23 is our score for the third set. Now for our statistics for set number 3, we have 15 attack points coming from UP and 14 for Ateneo. So medyo pantay na rin tayo dito. Katulad ng ating mga blocks, 2 service aces at wala sa Ateneo. 7 errors for Ateneo and 8 for UP. So really a neck-to-neck performance for the third set.
Well, set number 4 now underway. This set is brought to you by Shakey's. From era to era to era, the fun keeps rolling. 50 years of fun, family, and pizza at Shakey's.
Now we see a full-fledged starter lineup for UP with mga limutan who will become their playmaker in the fourth set, while we have Cortez for Ateneo.
So far, leading scorers for UP, we have Guerrero with 16, 12 for Kian Olango, and 8 for Nina Itang. Dongalio really limited, actually only having 6 points so far. Sa kabilang panic naman for Ateneo, we have J. Pasha with 9, Hermosura with 8, as well as Desperos chipping in 8 markers.
You know, Dongalio having 6 points. 6 points is actually a lot of points, but not for Dongalio, not the usual Dongalio performance that we know that usually ends up 16 to 20 plus points per game. So we'll see if she will be activated more in today's match. Kasi kanina nababantayan na rin si Dongalio.
This block is brought to you by Peri Peri Charcoal Chicken and Sauce Bar. Order now. Our block of the set, UP with a block party. Now a service ace, care of Bien Bansil. UP, you can see their adjustments. Noticing na si Zay Pasha ang leading scorer dito sa Ateneo.
They've been more aggressive in the blockings when it comes to her side of the court. Lucky break for Bansil on that serve. That will result to a service ace with a little bit of help coming from the net.
Back-to-back aces here for Bien Bansil. Coach Fabio calls for time. Let's listen in to this Ateneo timeout.
The base is good. The base jump in front of you. Where you can hit. If you saw line, when this ball comes here, it's ball short, and you can see the line, okay, you can hit. But you get the ball, you take care of it. I told you, don't worry, it's ball short, go the middle fly. The heavy space, okay, don't worry about the middle. Hey, attention. Don't sit. If you sit, you lose the control. This ball, prepare the ball, move here and get the ball here.
huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
Coach Serio, of course, reminding his girls on their position when it comes to service reception that when they see a short ball coming, they can't stay in position, but they have to keep moving inside of the court in anticipating those kinds of serves. Service error from Bansil, so good call of a timeout also for Ateneo to break that momentum that UP was building.
Well, Yen Bansil has a total of 4 service aces already in the entire match. 2 alone in this 4th set that we saw before that service error. Nisperos
this time asking for a check ball, so I think Coach Serio will definitely challenge that as a block touch violation.
First challenge, if I'm not mistaken, from the Ateneo bench. So they challenge a block touch on that hit by Isa Nisperos on the hands of the blockers. That was Noceja and Nina Itang up front. Strong lead or strong start here for UP. They went on a 5-0 start as we opened up set number 4. And I mean, this match has just been neck and neck all throughout. Both teams wanting to finish in the 5th position, ending their Shakey Super League campaign on a high note and in preparation for their mother league, which is the UAAP. As we see here, a challenge called on that attack by Isa Nisperos. There was a block touch, but UP will counter challenge on a net touch. First counter challenge today. This time by Coach Fabio Menta, checking to see there was a net touch on that attack. Both teams making use of the challenge system. Our referees backtracking, sorting things out here on that replay. UP with a magnificent start so far here in the 4th set. As I mentioned, we saw Bien Bansil's 2 consecutive service aces. And then that is where Ateneo got that 1 point. Yung kanyang 3rd service attempt nag-outside. We're still awaiting the result of this challenge here, called by a counter challenge called by Coach Fabio Menta. Kung may net touch nga ba on the side of Ateneo. Well, Richie, let's go back actually while waiting for the replay. Yung mga top scorers so far natin for UP.
Of course, we have Jelle Gajero Olango, who had a lot of points in the 1st and 3rd set. And of course, we have Nina Itang doing a wonderful job being activated.
Well, finally, we have The replay.
dito sa video challenge natin. Okay. After nila
Was there no net touch? No net touch on the side of Ateneo.
Okay, so I think the explanation of this set was no net touch because the net was touched after the ball was already dead. So nakaland na yung bola nung natamaan ni Isa Nesperos ang net.
Yep, that's correct. After na yung net touch nga, as you mentioned, Richie, kaya unsuccessful yung tawag.
Okay, so ball was already dead when Isa Nesperos touched the net. So that ball will still be awarded to Ateneo.
Coach Fabio clarifying with our referees and officials.
Okay, accepting that decision made by our officials. So now, let's continue with our game.
That was a long set of challenges.
And of course, also breaking the momentum for both of our teams. So score will be adjusted 2-5 of UP.
Oh, Niña Itang with a boom. An exclamation point after that call was not in their favor. What a way to come back from that.
Full conviction, effort, and power coming from Niña Itang with that attack.
Hermosura. Ana Hermosura with a point here for Ateneo.
Score is now 6-3. So Hermosura continues to be a force to be reckoned with. Mapa-opposite or open side man yan, she will soar high for her team.
This spike is brought to you by Potato Corner, world's best flavored fries. Order now.
Sagutan na ng palo dito sa Shakey Super League, and Isa Nesperos will attempt to get one.
Mangilimutan. Tunoseha goes for that drop.
Good vary when it comes to Noseha. So we've been seeing more of her in this set compared to the first few sets. Napapa nga siya doon, so she really just opted to get that ball over easily.
Serve goes out this time though for Noseha.
Nesperos now on deck to serve for Ateneo. Score is now 7 to UP and 4 of Ateneo. 2 sets naman ang lamang ng UP sa Ateneo of 1. Out of system play for UP. Nesperos will set up Pasha at the back.
Mangilimutan to Ulango. And Kian Ulango again getting one to go.
Ulango just consistent with her spikes and her points. Pipeline, front line, opposite open, and she's able to do it.
First technical timeout. Score is 8-4 in favor of the Fighting Maroons.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Good eyesight makes perfect moments. For expert eye care, state-of-the-art facilities, affordable eyewear. Go to EO. EO Executive Optical. Love your eyes.
Unli projects, plans, play, games! With Smart Unli 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
still watching the 2025 Shakey Super League Preseason Unity Cup. We could have been in the Final Four, but we threw it away. It still hurts. It might have been a painful setback, but Coach Fabio and the Fighting Maroons look at it as a point of learning, but an expensive one at that. The team has escaped nail-biters throughout the tournament and has proven their capability to play high-level volleyball, especially in the quarterfinals. But one of their weaknesses is fizzling out during crucial moments. Because of this, UP is set on staying focused and consistent to strengthen their grip here at para hindi dumulas ang panalo ngayong araw. Kayla and Richie?
UP continues to be a promising team in my opinion. I mean, take a look at their bench. Ang dami nilang players who have potential to step up kahit hindi man silang first six.
You know, of course, there is disappointment on the side of Coach Fabio because of the hard work they put in this tournament. Again, there are a lot of nail biters where they actually won, but unfortunately just fell short. But what's good is that they use it as motivation and determination to show up stronger in their next season in the UAAP. But first, we have Celia, who is activated in the middle.
This school play is brought to you by R&B Milk Tea. Order now. She now serves for Ateneo. Easy block there for Casey Cortez on Kian Olango. Kian tried to go for the soft touch.
UP was frozen as Ateneo will block that point. Actually, it was just a soft touch, making it very easy for Cortez to block that ball.
Mangilimutan chooses Dongalio. That one right on the line. That's Cassie Dongalio with 7 points so far in the match. What an adjustment there by Cortez.
Good set by Mangilimutan. And an activation again for Olango. That's already her 14th point in today's match.
Good set as well by Mangilimutan. Zay Pasha comes up short on that drop ball.
Unfortunate error for Ateneo. You do not want to give free points to UP, especially now that they are heating up even more with Mangilimutan as their playmaker.
Hey, you need to return. My timeout. Hey, Preseason, you need to return the focus. You know the player. How many times the wings hit in the middle, in your block? They hit left and right. You know when you jump, get left and right. Okay, Preseason, stay strong. Don't push this ball. This ball's here. You put her in the high. Okay, and keep going. Okay, let's go, let's go.
That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
Coach Serio was mentioning that the girls really have to wake up, and that's why he called the timeout. So I think it will really be advantageous also that they tried to break the momentum of UP. But again, just reminding his girls, how many times has the ball landed right in the middle when an attacker was attacking from UP? So adjustments need to be made.
Yep, a call for his girls to wake up as UP has a 5-point lead so far. Good coverage there by Ateneo.
Ateneo showing more intention in each time they hit that ball. And that's Pasha to credit for in that previous sequence.
(12-8) is our score. UP on top. Noceja with a long ball. Pasha again. Although the attack goes out. Attack error for Ateneo.
3 point for UP, making their lead now 5 points. Better first ball for Ateneo.
Pasha denied at the net by Yesha Noceja. Only one blocker for UP.
You see the clear difference of UP with their height and their reach. That's why Noceja was so confident that even though she was a single blocker, she was confident enough and strong enough to block that ball perfectly.
Nesperos. Nesperos again. And she gets that point off a check ball.
That's the kind of adjustment Coach Sergio was actually looking for. The in-play adjustment, seeing that UP has been very aggressive in blocking their attacks. She made that conscious adjustment and the effort to actually hit that ball to go out.
Mangilimutan to Noceja.
Attack error for Noceja, 3 point for Ateneo.
If that attack goes wide. Free ball for Ateneo. Hermosura.
Good set coming from Cortez all the way from the other side of the net, actually. So much power in that set, and it was a perfect one for Hermosura to really just be activated in the kind of attack she wanted.
Double figures now for this rookie, Hermosura.
In the second set, in the third set, we get superficial. We have the tempo, we're dominating, we know where they're going to spike, we wait inside, don't go line with the thin line, but the block has to be on the cross court, okay? And then don't be superficial, we get superficial sometimes. Just push the ball like that, play block out. Okay, play block out, let's go.
Let's go girls! Attempt tayo, attempt! Hey, laban! Okay!
That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
Coach Fabio just instructing his girls that you know how your opponent is playing, so I think he just gives confidence in his girls on what to actually do inside of the court, especially now that Ateneo is adjusting to the types of plays that Coach Sergio was actually instructing them to do.
Kian Olango.
Again, Kian Olango, just consistent. She's not vocal with her speech, but with her celebration and her performance every time she is set up, it will become a point.
Another one for this girl. We haven't seen Gajero come back in here for UP. Well, this rotation, this unit on the court for UP seems to be working. Monster block from Nina Itang. Did you see yung hang time niya talaga eh?
That was a beautiful block from Nina Itang. Just a powerful spike coming from De Leon, but an even powerful block coming from Itang.
16-11 in favor of UP.
From era to era to era, the fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years.
Only projects, plans, play, games. With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app. Choose your number. Activate the eSIM and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Back to the ball game after that second technical timeout. UP with the lead. Quite a number of players chipping in on their side. We have Nina Itang, who we just saw scored a monster block before that timeout. We also have Kian Olango and Cassie Dongalio chipping in and contributing for their squad. Meanwhile, Yesha Noceja also one of the bright spots here for UP.
Noceja definitely showing up in today's match. You know, she was a bit slow in the first set, but this time she's just proving that she is a force to be reckoned with when it comes to attacking, especially in the wing side.
17-11 is the score. What a chase by Ateneo there. Itang from the middle once again.
Just the distribution coming alone from the setters of UP. It's been doing their team so well, especially in activating their middle attackers. Usually it's the hardest to activate your middle attackers because they come in first. But even in out-of-system play, they're able to convert it into a successful play.
Ninya Itang also in double figures with 12 points. Ethan Esperas unable to get that one across.
Now you see her actually tearing up midway pa lang sa set number 4. So I think her spin a while ago just really didn't help her condition when it comes to, I think that's her ankle she was pointing to a while ago.
Let's hope everything is okay with Ethan Esperos. Their PT and as their coaches check on her as well. Stepping out of the floor, and Jenna Hora checks in for her. Hora will try again. This time goes for a drop. Hermosura gives up a free ball. Noceja. Good pick up by De Chavez. And Hermosura gets a check.
Maaasahan din naman mag-step up ang mga players ng Ateneo Blue Eagles such as Hermosura, who has been shining through actually this whole game, and she's been consistent even though there has been a change of rhythm, especially with Nesperos out of the court. Just really taking in that pressure well.
Service error committed by De Leon. Cortez sets up Hermosura. Check ball called on Ateneo. So Hermosura gets another point here.
Hora now serving for Ateneo. Score is 19 of UP and 12 for Ateneo.
She now has 12 points. I'm talking about Ana Hermosura. She will try again. Mangilimutan to Dongalio. No check.
Spike was too long. Oh, but I think Coach Fabio will call a challenge for that spike of Dongalio.
Block touch. Challenge called by Coach Fabio Menta on that last sequence wherein Dongalio attacked the ball. Kaso nga mukhang out, but let's see if there were any touches on top of the net. So, Richie, at this point of the match, what do you think UP is doing differently na halos mas malaki yung lamang nila so far?
You know, I think it's not the difference of the plays they've been making, but it's more of the consistency of their energy inside the court in establishing their positions when it comes to receiving the attacks and the services that Ateneo has been giving. And I think that it really does play a big deal when they're able to deliver their first balls to their setters, because it becomes so easy and smooth of a transition from the setter to activate different kinds of plays to each of her attackers.
Well, Ethan Esperos, but before that, we have our challenge ready for us. Block touch on that hit by Cassie Dongalio. Seems like wala namang touches there on the side of Ateneo. Point remains with the Blue Eagles. But going back to Isa Nisperos, she's been playing a magnificent game today. Kaso nga we saw her step out of the court and unfortunately na-twist niya yung kanyang right ankle. So prayers up for Isa Nisperos. Hopefully nothing serious. We pray for her quick and speedy recovery as Nina Itang continues to deliver the goods here for UP.
If there's one kind of attack that Nina Itang is known for, it's really her running attacks. You know, she lifts up and elevates herself with such grace, and it really does become into a smooth attack coming from her.
What a far set there for Hermosura.
So much power and effort for Hermosura to come in for that approach, making it very successful for her squad.
Tongalio gets a point, puts UP up 22-15.
Tongalio showing up when it matters most.
On deck to serve, Jazz Mangilimutan now at the back row. De Chavez bomb set to Zay Pasha. Dongalio again gets that one through the block. UP 2 points away from bagging this match. That play was brought to you by Kick, powered by Smart. Our way, our rules. Download the app now.
And Dongalio just showing up when it's needed the most.
Ball still alive. Pasha. Grabe yung hang time nitong si Kian Olango.
Kian Olango has been the person we've been mentioning the most in today's match. He's been very consistent from set number 1 to set number 4. Now at match point, UP to 15 of Ateneo.
Yep, match point for the UP Fighting Maroons, 24 to 15 of Ateneo.
And we will extend it because Ateneo just scored a point in favor of Celia.
That play was brought to you by Kick, powered by Smart. Our way, our rules. Download the app now. Ateneo saves one set point. Cortez chooses Hermosura at the back, but it's blocked at the net by Bien Bansil.
And that does it for our classification match for the 5th and 6th place for the Shakey Super League Preseason Unity Club. That was the Ateneo Blue Eagles going against the UP Fighting Maroons, ending today's match in 4 amazing sets. And I think both performers really just shined with the display of talents and mastery of skill that they had. A lot of players shined through and stepped in and actually just really showing what quality volleyball looks like.
Yeah, so the UP Fighting Maroons finish at 5th place and Ateneo finishes at 6th. UP winning this in 4 sets, 23-25, 25-16, 25-23, and 25-16 in favor of the UP Fighting Maroons.
Each new decade, a fun new side. Still serving smiles on every plate. 50 great years, let's celebrate. Shakey's fun goes on and on and on, on and on and on. Shakey's got it going on. We still bring the fun.
With decades of great pizza, chicken, and mojos.
Shakey's fun goes on and on.
From era to era to era. The fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years.
The fun goes on at Shakey's.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
Only projects, plans, play, games. With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Final score is 23-25, 25-16, 25-23, and 25-16 in favor of the UP Fighting Maroons. They finish at 5th place, and Ateneo finishes at 6th place. Not an easy win, actually, Richie, for the UP Fighting Maroons, as Ateneo, well, we saw them win set number 1, and sa susunod naman na sets number 2, 3, and 4, medyo dikit nga yung laban that we had and that we saw.
You know, they definitely challenged the UP Fighting Maroons in today's match, even extending to 4 sets. Actually, all the sets were really close in scoring, especially with the attacks that they were able to provide. But although UP just doing such an excellent job in activating almost all of their spikers, if not all, and today's MVP of the match.
This MVP of the match is brought to you by Shakey's. From era to era to era, the fun keeps rolling. 50 years of fun, family, and pizza at Shakey's. Richie, sino ang MVP of the match natin?
Well, of course, I had to choose Kian Olango, who really just showed up for her team today with so much excellence in her attacks all throughout the game. Just a very consistent player and a force to be reckoned with for the UP Fighting Maroons.
Well, our MVP of the match, Kian Olango, is with Danny Nakpil on the sidelines.
Thank you so much, ladies. Congratulations, Kian, on this win. Medyo dikit yung laban today with Ateneo, right? And meron ba, but you finished strong, you stayed focused as a team. Meron bang specific game plan or instructions from Coach Fabio?
Ang sinabi niya lang talaga is maging consistent kami and makinig lang sa kanya whenever may adjustments. And most importantly, ang sinabi niya, maging buo lang kami this game. Ipakita namin na iisa kami na naglalaro.
And speaking of that, you've had quite a good run dito sa SSL, considering that you have a new coach, a new system. Ano yung biggest learning para sa'yo na gusto nyong dalhin sa UAAP, the upcoming season?
I hope na sa upcoming season namin mas maging hungry pa kami sa laro namin kasi I know we can do it naman. And hopefully sa paglalaro namin maging isa talaga kami yung as in team na team.
Thank you so much, Kian. Sinong gusto mong pasalamatan or batiin? I-shout out?
Sa family ko po sa Cebu, stay strong lang tayo lahat, and I love you all, and thank you to my family, other relatives na tinutulungan yung family ko ngayon, and ayun, yun lang. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Congratulations sa Dial Player of the Game ka. Kian, may surprise ang Shakey's para sa'yo. Once again, congratulations, Kian Olango and the UP Fighting Maroons for clinching the 5th spot here at the SSL. Let me now turn you over back to Kayla and Richie.
Thank you, Danny, and congratulations again to Kian Olango, our MVP of the match. Also, a fellow Cebuano. Earlier, we saw Chini Basarte. So our heartfelt prayers going out to those affected by the recent typhoon. Let's check out our Smart Powered Up Plays, brought to you by Smart's Only 5G. Stay connected for only 85 pesos for 3 days. Load now through the Smart app. Richie, set number 1. We saw Ateneo take this set.
You know, Ateneo really showed up with such intensity in their performance, especially taking advantage of their starters not being, UP starters not in play. That set ended with 25-23.
Pagdating naman natin sa set number 2, mas kontrolado na ng UP yung set na to. This is where we saw Gahero erupt.
Yes.
In terms of her contributions in the attacking department. Cassie Dongalio also chipping in a few numbers. Kian Olango not playing in the set, obviously because of that all-to-play rule. But an all-around balanced scoring from the side of UP. We saw their second stringer setter, si Julia De Leon, stepping up here for UP and definitely orchestrating those plays very efficiently.
Now for set number 3, we had the starters of UP performing really well, except for their setter. So it was De Leon, their second setter rather, who orchestrated that, and she did a job well done. But for Ateneo as well, we had a number of attacks coming from Pasha, who really shined through in that set, alongside Nisperos, of course, and Hermosura of Ateneo.
Yep, top scorers for the Blue Eagles. We had rookie Ana Hermosura alongside Zay Pasha and Isa Nisperos, who unfortunately twisted her right ankle rather. Job well done though on the side of the Blue Eagles, who really showed up in today's match and really challenged and pushed UP to their limits.
So
as we see our statistics here.
Match summary for today's classification match. We have 57 attack points galing sa UP Fighting Maroons, while 48 naman sa Ateneo. So hindi din nagkakalayo, but for the blocks, really just hailed high UP with their powerful blocks. 8 points for them and 3 for Ateneo, and 6 service aces din ang nakuha ng UP, just really taking advantage of that, while Ateneo only had 1.
Let's now take a look at our updated team rankings so far. We had 2 classification matches earlier. As we see, in 5th place, UP taking the 5th spot. 6th place going to Ateneo. 7th going to CSB, and 8th going to San Beda for our battle for bronze. FEU and Adamson, that will be next week, November 15. And our championship match, the much-awaited National University Lady Bulldogs, gunning for their 4-peat here in the league versus a gritty UST. Keep it here at the Shakey Super League. We'll be back for our championship match.